All right, we're about to go on a journey. But forget sunny beaches or relaxing getaways. We're taking a tour of the deadliest destinations in our entire cosmic neighborhood. Think of it as extreme tourism, where the sights are breathtaking and the dangers are absolutely guaranteed to be fatal. So you might want to buckle up. It's a question we've all probably wondered about, right? If things went south here on Earth, if we had to pack up and leave, where would we even go? We always look up at the night sky, at our neighbors, and think, maybe there? Well, here's the tough reality. The answers are out there, but they are not great. Our solar system isn't some welcoming collection of new homes. It's a minefield, a series of beautiful, intricate, and incredibly effective death traps. Let's start the tour, shall we?
We'll begin our trip in the bad part of town, right next door to the sun. This is where proximity to our star has created worlds that are nothing short of celestial furnaces.
First stop, Mercury, the little guy closest to the sun. Now, you're probably just thinking hot, but oh, the reality is so much more bonkers than you can possibly imagine. Just look at that swing. That is pure violence. It's not a matter of finding a shady spot to cool off. On Mercury, you'd get incinerated on one side and flash frozen on the other, practically at the same time. We're talking a nearly 600-degree shift every single day. There's nothing, and I mean nothing, we could build that would survive that. And really, it's dealer's choice for how you die. There's no atmosphere to protect you, so you're just getting blasted with 7 times the solar radiation we get on Earth. And that's all happening while you're trying to navigate a surface so cratered that any landing is basically a coin flip. Okay, let's hop over to our next destination, a place we often call Earth's twin. Similar size, similar gravity. You think it would be nice, right? Well, this twin has a very, very dark secret. Welcome to Venus. For just 1 second, forget about the heat, forget everything else, and look at that number. 92 bars of pressure. To feel that on Earth, you'd have to dive nearly a full kilometer straight down into the ocean. Before you could even think about the scorching temperatures, the air itself would just pop you instantly. This is why Venus is the definition of a hellscape. If, by some miracle, the pressure doesn't get you, the surface temperature, hot enough to melt lead, by the way, definitely will. Oh, and you'd be doing all this while being rained on by sulfuric acid, unable to see anything in our creepy, dim orange haze. Venus is, hands down, the single most hostile planet for a human being. All right, let's get away from that inferno and head to the one place that gives us all a little bit of hope, the planet we've pinned all our sci-fi dreams on. But Mars. Mars is a bit of a trickster. It lures you in with this promise of a new Earth, but it's hiding its own deadly secrets. Come on, we've all heard this 1,000 times. We've seen the movies. Mars is our plan B. It's got ice, the days are about the same length as ours. It feels so close. You can almost taste the possibility of a new home. But then reality hits. The atmosphere is so thin that any water just boils away instantly. You're being hit with up to 50 times more deadly radiation than here on Earth. Giant planet-sized dust storms can just appear and block out the sun for weeks. And the second the sun goes down, the temperature dives to a lethal minus 130 degrees. So yeah, hopeful for sure, but easy, not a chance. Okay, we're leaving the rocky planets behind. Now we're heading out to the realm of the giants. And out here, the whole idea of landing on a planet just stops making sense. There's no ground. There's only down. An endless, crushing fall into oblivion. And now we face the king, the absolute monster of our solar system, Jupiter. This isn't really a world. It's a force of nature. It's so big, so powerful, it almost became a star. You don't visit Jupiter, you get consumed by it. Think of this as your one-way itinerary. Even NASA's toughest probe only lasted an hour. First, you hit winds twice as strong as a Category 5 hurricane in freezing cold. Then, as you fall, the pressure just builds and builds until your ship is crushed like a soda can. Go even deeper, and the hydrogen gas itself gets squeezed into a weird liquid metal sea. And if you somehow make it past that, you're instantly vaporized in a core that's hotter than the surface of the sun. Next up, the jewel of the solar system, the one with the rings, Saturn. It looks so calm, so majestic and peaceful from far away. But that beauty, it's a complete lie. Just wrap your head around that number for a second. 1,800 kilometers an hour. That's faster than a fighter jet. Behind that serene, beautiful face is an atmosphere of just unbelievable violence.
There's some of the fastest winds in the entire solar system. Beautiful to look at, but get too close and you're torn to shreds. For the last leg of our tour, we're going way out, into the deep freeze, the far reaches of the solar system. Out here in the dark, things get weird. The laws of physics start creating worlds that are profoundly, beautifully, and terrifyingly alien.
So now we're at Uranus, the coldest planet we've got. This place is the system's oddball. It's literally spinning on its side, like it got knocked over and just never got back up. But its weirdness goes way, way deeper than that.
You know, here on Earth, we get rain, snow, maybe some hail, but on a world this cold, under this much pressure, made of stuff like methane, what does the weather even look like? What could possibly fall from the sky? Yup, you heard me. Diamonds. Scientists believe the insane pressure deep inside the planet's atmosphere actually squeezes carbon atoms so hard that they crystallize and form solid diamonds, which then rain down toward the core. It's a world where it literally rains riches. And at last, we've reached the end of the line, the final stop on our tour. The dark, windswept, and deeply mysterious world of Neptune, the last planet out in the cold. Neptune is basically where all the most extreme features of the outer planets come together to party. It's got the fastest winds in the whole solar system, screaming past at over 2,000 kilometers per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. It's so far from the sun, but it's still warm inside, pumping out its own heat. And yeah, it has diamond rain too. This thing is a true cosmic monster lurking out there in the dark.
So let's recap. We've been incinerated, crushed, irradiated, frozen solid, and ribbed to pieces by supersonic winds. Every single one of our planetary neighbors is, in its own special way, an elaborate death trap. It kind of brings us back to that first big question, doesn't it?
After surviving that absolute nightmare of a tour, I think it's time we shift our perspective. It's time to come home. And that right there is the whole point of this journey. We spend all this time looking out into that vast, hostile ocean of space, searching for another shore, another safe harbor. But the truth is, we've been standing on the only one that exists the entire time. Earth isn't our starting point for a cosmic journey. It is the destination, a tiny, fragile, and almost impossible exception. We've seen what's waiting for us out there. Now we know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, just how precious, how impossibly rare this world really is. So the tour is over, but it leaves us with one final haunting thought. The real mystery isn't what's out there anymore. It's how long our one fragile home can last.